two, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. So last night I got to go down to Iowa and do another really great, really exciting, really joyful youth rally on the theology of the body and chastity. And I was driving home last night, and I started thinking, those talks always get me thinking about my own experiences with love and heartache and stuff like that throughout my life. And I think about music a lot too, obviously, so I was listening to music on the way home, and I started thinking about different songs and bands that I think kind of symbolize the way that I understood love at different points in my life. So I thought I'd pass some of those songs along. So all these songs, number one, they're all songs that have kind of stood the test of time for me. So they're not songs that I liked for, like 7 hours or something like that, and then they kind of got old, and I think they're dumb now. Like, these are songs that I still really love, and bands that I still listen to a lot, and they still matter to me even now. Number two, they're songs and bands that I really loved back in the day too. So it's not just some band that I kind of listen to once in a while, or a song that I thought was okay. These are songs and bands that I was borderline obsessed with, for like a month straight or something like that. And lastly, like I said, I think they're all kind of symbolic of the way I understood love at different parts of my life. So going back to high school, the song that I think is pretty symbolic of my view of love is Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind. So this is kind of a funny song, because the whole thing is kind of a not a metaphor, I guess, but it's a little symbolic itself, because the music in the song is really upbeat and joyful and fun and kind of boppy, but the lyrics of the song are really tragic and kind of depressing, because the whole song is about using drugs, basically. So the song's meant to give you a sense of the shiny, really pretty facade, the like fake, superficial covering of what drugs are all about, but when you scratch below the surface, it's obviously really destructive and dangerous and pretty tragic, which is funny, because that's kind of the way that I understood love in high school. I think was based on lots of really stupid romance movies and stuff like that love was the shiny, perfect, happy thing, and that if you were sad in love, or if you loved somebody and it wasn't going well, then there was something wrong with your love. That's not what love is all about. And I didn't have really any good sense of what was under the surface there. And honestly, I don't know if I thought about it a lot. It was just more to do with what the surface was all about, what things kind of looked like on the outside with love. So moving on to college, like 4 or 5 years later, I think the song that kind of wraps things up for me there is it's a song by John Mayer, and it's a really cool song, actually, called Love Song for No One.
I'm tired of being alone, so hurry up and get here. I'm so tired of being alone, so hurry up and get here.
So John Mayer is typically kind of a romantic singer, I guess you could say, which is probably an understatement. But so this song is a really funny song, because it paints love as this thing that's controlled by fate, which is kind of how I understood love, I think, in college. The song's all about, he says, I'm tired of being alone, so hurry up and get here. And that's kind of what I thought love was all about. I figured that, God had this perfect woman out there for me somewhere, and it was a weird, global version of hide and seek. So she was out there. It was my job to find her somehow, and if I could find this one perfect girl, then we'd both be happy. But in the song, he even says, could I have met you in a sandbox? Could I have passed you on a sidewalk and let you walk away? And even that didn't really bother me. That seemed pretty plausible. Maybe this girl was somebody that I knew earlier in life, and she just left, and now I'm doomed to be alone for the rest of my life. It was a little dramatic, but that's the way it kind of worked back then, I think. After college, I think in grad school, I had a lot of questions and kind of a lot of confusion about love. So the song "Always" by Blink 182 meant a lot for me back then. So first of all, I love this song, and this is a really great album of Blink 182's that they put together. I was so like steeped in emotion during this part of my life because I didn't really understand my love life real well. I knew I had a better sense that love was something that wasn't just one human being that I might possibly track down and love, that it was something that I had to do work with, but I didn't understand what was required of me to be in love. So I was lonely pretty often, and a lot of times I would just wallow in this emotion of like, woe is me, I haven't found her yet, what's my life going to be all about? And this song is kind of symbolic of what that time period was like, because I would listen to the song like on repeat and just kind of, be like stuck in my own little box of emotion, basically. So then moving on, luckily, to when I started out and got my first job, this not a specific song, but Reliant K has a lot to say about what I looked at love like then.
Now I'm sunny with the high of 75 since you took my heavy heart and made it light. And it's funny how you find you enjoy your life when you're happy to be alive.
I had a better understanding of love at this point in my life because this is when I started dating my eventual bride, and she taught me a lot of things, and God taught me a lot of things about what love actually is. That love isn't just some floofy little emotion, and it's not something like you see in the movies where you can just feel happy and in love for the rest of your life. That love isn't even really a feeling, most accurately. That love has much more to do with like action and sacrifice and choice. That to love somebody doesn't mean you necessarily feel anything. It means that you choose to sacrifice for them. You choose what's best for them. So Reliant K is obviously a Christian band, and a lot of their music has a really great image of love, both God's love and the way that our love works for us. So that was a really important band to me then. So now, bring it up to kind of the modern day. I think the one band that really encapsulates a lot of my kind of views on love now, that I'm still trying to get a better understanding of every day, but thankfully I have a better understanding than I did, I think, 10 years ago. The band Owl City has been really big in my life.
Tell me again, was it love at first sight when I walked by and you caught my eye? Didn't you know love could shine this bright? Well, smile because you're the deer in the headlights.
So Owl City is they're not a Christian band, or Adam Young, I should say, isn't a Christian musician necessarily, but he's obviously a strong Christian guy, and a lot of his music is kind of woven with these Christian themes and ideas and phrases. And his music is, first of all, really creative, and it's really technical, which I like. And even that is kind of more symbolic of what love looks like for me now. I think it's more complex than it's ever been. It was simple, back in the day, to think that love was just this feeling, and I would feel like I was in love with a girl for like a week and a half, and then I would stop that feeling, and then we would break up because I didn't have that feeling anymore. It was simple, but it wasn't accurate, I think love for me nowadays, especially in marriage, is much more complex, but it's much more beautiful that way too, because it requires more from me and from my bride and my family. And that's kind of the point, I think. It's to demand things of us and make us sacrifice and even suffer a little bit for the people that we love the most. So hopefully, music has some things to say to you about love, and hopefully it's not all, you know, Justin Bieber and One Direction. I mean, hopefully there's more to it than that. So get out there, listen to some music that gives you good images of love and what love's all about.